Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You have sincerity. You are honest with yourself. A hypocrite will never say that he is a hypocrite. Unless, of course, it's for a show. But you are asking. So, inshallah, we will pray for you. Important thing for you to know is, for the faith to survive in these days, it needs constant protection. It needs to not remain stagnant. It needs to grow. It needs nourishment. Then you have to set up protection around it for it to stay, for it to take root. It is the divine protocol that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never leaves any man or woman, anyone that He has created, human, alone. And He has always given and sent His beloved, most beloved ones, the prophets, into this world to remind, to clarify, to rejuvenate, and to leave followers and successors to continue the work until the next prophet comes. The next prophet comes again to clarify, to guide man back to the Siratul Mustaqim, because Siratul Mustaqim is not the straight path, is not a path like any other path. There are so many paths and then we find this path. No. The Siratul Mustaqim, the straight path, is the path that originally all of us are on. But we deviate. And their job is just to make us to continue on this path, to remember it, and to stay on this path. And that continues until Judgment Day. Allah is not leaving alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent the last prophet. No prophet coming after him. And He has said, after me, I'm leaving you two things: the Quran and my traditions. And another hadith sharif is saying the Quran and my Ahlul Bayt. Now, the traditions, it is meaning for those ones who are understanding and living the lifestyle that the Prophet was living, and they are continuing it, and they are protecting it. They're not just continuing and bringing everything to come in, they were protecting it. This is important. Because especially Islam in the first few hundred years is coming with so many different ideas, strong, powerful ideas from all sorts of civilizations. And Shaitan was also busy to make new things, but it was always protected. And these ones, both the awliya and the ulama, the scholars, and the umara, very important. The kings, they were protecting it, so that corruption is not going to enter. We come to this point now today. Now we're all left alone, because there is no Amir, there is no Khalifa, meaning Islam is not ruling. It became a private religion. It's not ruling. Muslim countries, Islam is not ruling. They take their orders from something else, somewhere else. There is no Khalifa. Prophet ﷺ is saying, if there is no Khalifa for 3 days, there is no Islam. Which is why after the Holy Prophet ﷺ's veiling from this world, the most important thing was to select the Khalifa to continue the way after him. So, there is no Khilafat, there is no external protection. When they remove the Khalifa, they say one thing we have to remove. Definitely, we have to destroy all the Islamic institutions that is protecting Islam. They destroyed that. They killed and they murdered and they tortured and they wiped out hundreds and thousands of our alims. And they burned so many books so that the next generation will not be able to have strong foundation. Then they introduced new ideas into Islam. And these new idea people are the ones that they pay to remain in power. So they destroyed the Umara, the Khalifa, the Islamic government. They destroy the alim, the ulama, the scholars. Doesn't matter if certain institutions by outside is appearing. Inside they're already lost. Then they destroy. They're trying to destroy the awliya. So even the awliya, they're not ruling. They're not out. They're not in the open. They're pulling themselves back. The order is to pull yourself back now. So the awliya Allah, now, they're pulling themselves back. And that Firaun and Namrud kind of government is destroying the taqiyas, the dergahs. They shut down the tombs so that people don't go and they don't collect all this ruhaniyat, spirituality, to make you to become strong again. So now we come to this point. We don't have this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never left us alone. Visibly they're not there. But if your heart is searching, if you are searching, and I'm telling you that not too many Muslims are searching for spirituality. There are more non-Muslims searching for spirituality, ruhaniyat, tasawwuf, than there are Muslims searching for spirituality. Majority, they already turned their back against this tradition. But those who are searching, Allah will send a friend of Allah to you. It happened to me, it happened to every one of you, because we were searching. How are you going to understand the sickness of the heart? How are you going to understand how to get rid of the heart? Because now you're asking me a spiritual question. You're saying, this is, I understand here maybe, but it's not entering into my heart. Then you are a very ripe candidate for spirituality. Now, if you are really sincere, you're not going to see, you're not going to look at the secrets of religion or tasawwuf. You're not going to be busy yourself with, say, what lies behind the veil, Allah. You're going to be busy with removing the veils. What is a veil? Hypocrisy is one veil. Arrogance is one veil. Anger is another veil. Selfishness is another veil. 70,000 veils. And if you find someone who is going to make you to understand these veils and to remove them, you'll find yourself more refreshed that time, more certain. And you're going to hold on more carefully and more tightly to that one to say, now I need this one more. Because you understand, I fix this part needs fixing too. I fix this part, there's another part. It's never ending. Now you're engaged in the biggest struggle. And this biggest struggle will give you the highest rewards. And in these times, whatever that tasawwuf it is busy with all the forgotten sunnats, both zahir and batin, of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That majority, they're not making that sunnat anymore. And the Prophet says in the Akhir Zaman, if you carry one sunnat that is forgotten, you will get the blessings and the reward of 100 martyrs. So there's very good news. That is the good news to those ones that sincerely they want to come to their Lord. They're not saying that they are sincere, but sincerely they want to come to their Lord. That is the good news. Because if you make one small step, it is as if you made a huge jump. Whereas in maybe 1,000 years ago, in the early days, if you want to make progress, you have to do so much. But if you slip just a little bit, you lose a lot. These days, because we're living in a world that is filled with darkness, just a little bit of light. Like some people, they say, at night, a candle is brighter than the sun. So, we're holding on, not to candles, to suns. We're holding on to our Shaykh. He's holding on to his Shaykh in the most distinguished Naqshbandi order, reaching all the way to Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, to the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Holding on, protecting the Ahl Sunnat way. Inshallah, as much as we can. We are very weak. We are not claiming that we are anything. But we don't want to be those ones who are going to lose a lot. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Salam.